Students, in this session, we are going to revise the maths for your unit test 2. Okay, first we'll see the portion. See students, in chapter 1 numbers, in exercise 1.6 alone you are going to read. Okay, it is based off what? Exponents and power. Next, if you see in chapter 2 measurements, exercise 2.1 fully you are going to work out. Then exercise 2.2 fully, but the last problem alone I have not solved, that you can leave it. Okay, that we will omit. Next, in exercise 2.3, first and the second question. In exercise 2.3, the first question is fill in the blanks and the second question is match the following. So in exercise 2.3, the first question and the second question, and also you are going to learn the concept about how many faces, vertices, edges, that also you are going to learn in that in exercise 2.3. That is very important. Okay, how many number of faces, how many number of edges, how many number of vertices you are having, no, that also you are going to learn in the exercise 2.3. Now we'll move on to the pattern. Students, in first subdivision you will be getting fill in the blanks. So each question carries 1 mark, so that is 5 marks total mark is. Then the second subdivision is 2 marks. In that you will be having 5 2 marks. All the 5 2 marks you have to attend. For that the total mark is 10. Third subdivision is 5 marks. In that you will be getting 2 5 marks. Okay, both the 2 5 marks you have to attend. Students, for that the total mark is 10. Okay, now we are going to write for the unit test 2, the total mark is for 25. Okay, you are not going to get any choice for your question. All the question you have to attend. Clear? Students, those who are aiming for centum and those who want more marks, you have to work out all the problems. Only then you can score the good marks. Students, if you see in chapter 1 numbers in exercise 1.6, you are having some of the formulas, and as well as you are having formulas in exercise 2.1 and 2.2 also. Isn't it? First you write all the formulas in one classwork itself. You can write all the formulas from your book, you copy in the classwork. First by God thoroughly the formulas. Okay, and then you can solve the problem. It will be very helpful and it will be very easy also. Okay, without learning the formulas, don't blindly work out the sums. You will feel very difficult only. Okay, first you have to get thorough in what? Formulas, you have to be thorough. Clear, students? Now I am going to revise exercise. First I am going to revise exercise 1.6, then I am going to revise 2.1, then 2.2, then I am going to revise 2.3. Okay, exercise wise I am going to revise now. Okay, I will start now exercise 1.6 revision. First we are going to revise the exercise 1.6. In that the first concept is law of exponents we are going to learn. Okay, product law, quotient law, then power law, zero exponents law, like that you are having. So I am not going to solve the exercise problem. How to solve the exercise problem, I am going to give you the hint. Okay, in the exercise problem we have used all the laws there, isn't it? So I am going to explain one law, how to apply that. So you have to understand the concept. According to that you have to work out all the problems in exercise 1.6. In your revision note you have to put date, time, everything, and you have to work out what? All the problems. You should not skip any problem. All the problems you are going to work out. Clear? We will start now product law. See, product law means here the base will be same. As I told you in the introduction of exercise 1.6 itself, here base, this is the base and this is the power I told you. Isn't it? So here also the base is A and here also the base is A. When the bases are same, the power should be added. Okay, this is the power. Okay, when the bases are same, the power, these are the power, no, the power should be added. Okay, now whenever in exercise problem you are having the same base, what you have to do? You have to add the power. Clear? Now you see the example according to that. Here 2 power 3 into 2 square I have taken. Okay, now here see, here also the base is what? 2. Here also the base is what? 2. So we have to write one base. Here see, here 2 base A, we are writing 1 base A, isn't it? Likewise, here 2 base are same, I am writing 1, 2. And what is the power here? 3. And what is the power here? 2. So both the power we have to add. So 3 plus 2 I have written is equal to 2. 3 plus 2 is what? 5. So 2 power 5. Clear, students, all of you? The next example you see. Here the power I am having in negative. Okay. 2 power minus 3 into 2 power positive 5. But the base is same only. Okay. If the base are same, we have to add the power. That's it. Okay. Now 2 we are having. So 2, both the base are 2. I am writing 1 base 1 2. Then I am adding the power. See, minus 3 plus 5. Okay, that is the formula we are having in between plus. So minus 3 plus 5 means what we have to do, whether you will be adding or you will be subtracting. Yes, we have to subtract. Don't think that ma'am said if the base are same, the power should be added. Don't say that. According to the sign only we have to do. Okay, but most probably when the base are same, the power should be added only. But according to the sign, we have to do the operations. Clear? Now 5 minus 3 is what? 2. So we have to write here 2 square. Okay, after this 2 power 5, you have to write the answer also. Okay, what is 2 power 5 answer? How will you be writing? 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. 2 you will be writing 5 times and you have to multiply and you have to write. Here students, all of you, the product rule. Next we'll move to the quotient rule. Quotient means it will be in the divide form. Okay, you will be having numerator and as well as the denominator. Okay, when the denominator part, if you see here also the base is A, here also the base is A. Here the power is m and the power is n. If in the quotient rule, if the bases are same, then the power should be subtracted. Okay, the denominator power, it will come to numerator, that will become minus n. Clear students, all of you? Here this here same base, no, so we are writing one base and I am writing m and I am taking the n, so it will become minus n. So you see the example, minus 3 whole power 5 divided by minus 3 whole square. So which is, here both the base are minus 3 minus 3. I have written 1 minus 3 5. Here the power is what? Positive. So when it comes to numerator, it will become what? Negative. Isn't it? So 5 minus 2. So which is minus 3 whole power cube. Clear students? Students, whenever you are having power, whenever you are having power odd numbers, the base if you are having in negative means the final answer also will be in negative only. Clear what I am saying? When the power is in even number means what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. These are the even numbers, isn't it? So still we are having even number. When that numbers are there in the power, the base answer, when you are multiplying, you will get the answer in the positive. Clear? Next we'll see the power rule. Okay, power rule is nothing but for the power, another power you will be having. Okay, now if you see a power m we are having, another power for that which is n. So in the power rule we have to multiply the powers. Okay, m into n is a power mn. Clear? Based on that you can see the example down. See, minus 2 whole cube, for that another power 2 we are having. Which means what? Both the power we have to multiply. So base is minus 2, the power I am multiplying. 3 into 2. So minus 2, 6. Power 6. Minus 2, power 6. Students, if you see here, minus 2 power 6 means what is the answer you will get? How many times you will multiply the 2? 6 times you have to multiply, which means minus 2 into 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 minus 2. Students, after multiplying all the 2, you have to see the power. It is even number or odd number? It is even number. Then the answer should have to write in the positive. Okay. Suppose here for minus 2 we are having any odd numbers, means by that time odd number means 3, 5 like that. If you are having means you have to write the final answer in the negative. Clear? Yes. Now we all of you have understood the 3 law. Next we'll find the how to find the value of 4 power minus 3. Okay, when the powers are in negative, how we have to solve, like that we'll see now. See, for that we are having one formula which is a power minus m. What is that? A power minus m is equal to, how can we write? 1 divided by a power m we can write. Okay, the power minus, when we are writing in the quotient fraction, it will become positive. When you come to denominator, it will become positive. So for that, see the example. Sorry, this is the, I am solving 4 power minus 3, which is equal to, how can we write now? 1 divided by 4 cube. Okay, 4 cube, 4 power 3. So 1 divided by 4 power 3 means what? 4 into 4 into 4. 4 you have to multiply 3 times, isn't it? So 4 4s are 16. 16 into 4 is 64. Clear, students, all of you? Next, find the value of 2 power 5 and minus 3 power 4. 2 power 5 means what? How many times you will be multiplying 2? 5 times we have to multiply the 2. See, I have written 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. So 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8, 8 2s are 16, 16 2s are 32. Clear? Now, you see the next. Minus 3 the whole power 4. See, minus 3 whole power what? 4. 4 is even number or odd number? Yes, even number. So the answer should be in what? Even plus or negative? You have to get it positive. Clear? So minus 3 into minus 3 is what? Minus 3 into minus 3 is plus 9. So plus 9 into minus 3 is what? 9 3s are 27. Minus 27. Again minus 27 into minus 3 is plus 81. Clear? Clear all of you up to this? Yes. Next we will see the zero exponent rule. Students, any number in the power, if you are having 0, then what will be your answer? It is 1. Even 1 crore, power 0 answer is what? 1 only. Okay, any number, if the power is in 0, what will be your answer? It is 1. See, 23 power 0, what you will get? You will get 1 only. Clear, students, all of you? Students, all of you are clear about now laws of exponents? Yes. Next, in that exercise itself, you will be having standard form and scientific notation concepts you are having. I am going to explain it generally. Okay. You have to work out all the problems in exercise 1.6 based on that. Now, you see, these are the standard form. I am representing it in scientific notation. Okay, first see the standard form, the question what they have given, 0.00123 they have given. This how to write in their scientific notation means, students, if you see, first here the dot is there. Usually where we have to keep the decimal, the first where we have to keep the decimal means after the first non-zero number. Non-zero number means you should not keep after the 0, after 0 you should not keep decimal. After any number, it can be 1, it can be 2, after that only you have to keep the decimal. Okay, since we are having the decimal after the 1, isn't it? So, you should not, you have to move the decimal where we have to move. First non-zero number where we are having, we have to see. See here whether it is a non-zero number? No, it is a 0. Whether it is a non-zero number? No, it is also 0. Whether it is a non-zero number? Yes, this is the first non-zero number. So after the 1 only we have to place the decimal. This decimal we have to keep here. Okay, so how many places I am moving? First you see, from this decimal to this 0 I am taking. It is non-zero number. Again I am moving. Second, this is also non-zero number. Then this is the non-zero number. Clear? This is not non-zero number. This is not non-zero number. One is only the non-zero number. So how many places I am moving? 1, 2, 3. So when you are coming from the left to right, which means when you are coming from left to right, it will become what? Before it will become power negative. See what I am writing, 1 point to this 2, 3. 1.23 into 10 power. I have moved before 3 place. So into 10 power minus 3. Clear students all of you? The next, see here 0.0123. Now where you are having first non-zero number, here after the 1 only we have to keep the decimal. Okay, now here I am moving. Here this is not a non-zero number. Then this is the first non-zero number. So I have to keep the decimal here. So how many places I am moving? 1, 2. So since I am coming from the left side, I have to write in the power minus 2. What I have to write? 1.23 into 10 power minus 2. Clear? The next is, see, without decimal, I have taken the question. Without, do you have decimal in the question? No. Usually when scientific notation, after the first non-zero number, you have to keep the decimal. Okay, but here we don't have any decimal. Now, you have to consider the decimal, it is in the last place. Okay, now you have to move to front where the first non-zero number is there. You have to move till that. See here I am moving 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the first non-zero number. No, so after that only we have to keep the decimal. So only I have kept here 1.23. How many places I have moved? 4 places I have moved. So 10 power positive 4 plus 4 I have written. Why? Because I am moving from the right to left. Okay. Now here 10 power 4. Next example, if you see, how many do you have decimal here? We don't have any decimal. So from the last you have to consider the decimal is there. You have to move till towards the first non-zero number. So if you move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many places I am moving? 6 places I am moving. So 1.23 into 10 power. How many places I am moving? 6 places. So I have written 10 power 6. Clear students, all of you, the exercise 1.6. Based on this basic concept, you have to work out all the problems. Okay, still some of the concept are there. That is very simple, that you can learn it from your classwork itself. Clear students? Next we'll revise the exercise 2.1. Next chapter 2, measurements. In that first exercise 2.1 we are going to revise now. Students, in the chapter 2, the first exercise is fully based on what? Circle. Isn't it? In that circle mainly we have learnt about sector. Isn't it? Now, I am going to explain the formulas which is based on the sector. Using that only we have solved all the problems in that exercise. Isn't it? Now, first before going into the topic, first we have to know what is sector. Isn't it? A sector means a plane surface. This is a plane surface. It is a plane surface that is enclosed between two radii. Here also the radii and this is also the radii, this line. Isn't it? Enclosed between two radii and the circular arc. See a circular arc. Isn't it? Circular arc of a circle is called a sector. Clear students? One more time I will explain. The plane surface enclosed between two radii and the circular one arc is there. isn't it? And one circular arc of a circle is called a sector. So this portion if you cut out, that is the sector. Clear, students? Now the central angle of the sector, what is the formula to calculate? Means theta is equal to 360 degree divided by n. Okay, how many sectors you are going to make in the circle? According to that, if you are going to make 4 means you have to, instead of n, you have to substitute here 4. So that you will get the central angle theta. Clear, students? The next formula is length of the arc. Okay, length of the arc L. Length of the arc we are denoting by small l, which is the formula is theta by 360 degree into 2 pi r units. Clear, students? Where theta is nothing but they will be giving you in the question itself angle 38 degree or 40 degree or 45 degree, like that they itself will give you the theta value in the question. And also they will give you the radius. Radius means what? R. They will be giving you the values. You have to just substitute what is theta value they are given. You have to substitute here and you have to write 360 degree into 2 into pi value. They will be saying you pi, it can be a 22 by 7 or it can be a 3.14. See, pi value will be giving you the question. If they says 22 by 7, you have to substitute 22 by 7. If they says pi value is 3.14, by that time you have to substitute 3.14. If they have not given also, you can leave it. You can keep the final answer as pi itself. Clear, students? The next formula is area of the sector. Okay, area of the sector formula is theta by 360 degree into pi r square units. Whenever we are talking about area, you have to write the measurement in square unit only. Clear? Next, for area of the sector, you are having two formula. The first formula is this and the second formula is LR by 2, where L is nothing but length of the arc. Students, when you have to use this formula and when you have to use this formula means in the question they have given angle. Angle is nothing but theta. They have given theta 45 degree and radius 6 centimeter. They have given theta and radius means you have to use only this formula, first formula. Okay, in the question they have given length of the arc. Okay, L value they have given 28 centimeter, R equal to 7 centimeter. Like that, length of the arc L and radius if they are giving in the question means you have to apply this formula. Clear? Clear, students, all of you? When the length of the arc L and a radius if they are giving, by that time if you are applying this formula means you cannot able to find the answer. Okay? It will become going on. So what you have to do? You have to use the second formula of area of the sector equal to LR by 2 square units. That formula you have to apply. Clear, students, all of you? Next we will see about the perimeter of a sector. Okay, perimeter of a sector formula is L plus P equal to, P is nothing but perimeter, P equal to L plus 2R units. Okay, how we have got this formula means, see, L is not, this is the sector, isn't it? This diagram represents sector. So now see the perimeter means we will be adding all the side, isn't it? Now here what is this? This is the arc. So that is the L. We are denoting length of the arc by what? Small l. So this is the length of the arc. So L plus R plus R. So R plus R means what? 2R. So perimeter of a sector L plus 2R units. In the question they were asking you to find the perimeter of the sector means what are the values they will be giving? They will give you the length of the arc value they will give and as well as they will give you the radius value. You have to just substitute and you have to add and you have to write the final answer. Clear, students, all of you, about the exercise 2.1? Students, exercise 2.1 is only based on these formulas. Revise it properly. work out and see all the problems so that you will be very clear. Next, we'll move to the exercise 2.2. Students, in exercise 2.2 is fully based on what? Combined shapes. Combined shapes means what? In one diagram itself, you will be getting 2 or 3 more shapes. Isn't it? For example, I'll give you house. If you take, what are the shape are there in that? You'll be having triangle, rectangle, square, everything you'll be having there. Isn't it? So that is the combined shape. That only we have learnt in the exercise 2.2. Students, in the combined shapes, the most importantly you have to know is only the formulas. Okay, if you know the formulas, then it will be very easy for you to solve the problems. Clear, students? Now, see, these are the few formulas I have written. Still, some of the formulas are there which is given in your book in tabular column that you have already wrote in your classwork also. Isn't it? Now you have to go through all the formulas. Okay, for your the information I have written only the 3 formulas, but you have to learn what? All the formulas. Okay, now first formula is what? Triangle. Students, whenever they are asking to find area of the combined figure, means you have to use the area formula. Okay, they were asking perimeter, means you have to use the perimeter formula. Clear? Now, area of the triangle formula is half into base into height. Okay, the perimeter of the triangle is all the 3 sides you have to add. That is the perimeter. So, AB plus BC plus CA. That is the perimeter. Perimeter you have to write just units. But area alone you have to write square units. Clear? The next is parallelogram. Okay, parallelogram means we will be having only the base and height. So, area of the parallelogram formula is base into height square units. Similarly, the perimeter of the parallelogram is 2 into A plus B. Clear? The next one is rectangle. Area of the rectangle formula is L into B. Perimeter of the rectangle is 2 into L plus B. Clear, students, all of you? Students, according to that exercise 2.2, what are the problems we have solved? All the problems you are going to work out it directly in your revision note. Clear, students, all of you about exercise 2.1 and exercise 2.2? Students, in both the exercise, the very important thing is, in the final answer, you have to write the measurements. Okay, which is whether it is a centimeter square or meter square or just meter, that you have to compulsorily you have to write. If you are not writing, surely I will reduce the mark. Clear? Next we will move to the exercise 2.3. Next we are going to revise the exercise 2.3. In exercise 2.3, what we have learnt? We have learnt about 3-dimensional shapes. Isn't it? Students, 3-dimensional shape means what I told you. 3-dimensional shape means it will be having 3 measurements. Namely, what are they? Length, breadth and height. Isn't it? Now, if you see, students, in that exercise we have learned about faces, vertices, edges. Isn't it? For each solid shape we have learned that. Isn't it? Now, before going to see the faces, vertices and edges, now tell me what is the 2D shape of cube? Okay, 3D shape is cube. When we see that the cube in 2D shape, what will be the shape? Yes, it is a square. Yes, what is the 2D shape of cuboid? Yes, it is a rectangle. Okay, when we see in 3D shape, it becoming a cuboid. When we see it in 2D shape, it is becoming a rectangle. Similarly, in 3D shape, a cube is, we will be saying it as cube. In 2D shape, it is a square. Clear, students, all of you? Now, we will learn about the face, vertices and edges. Okay, now first I am going to explain about edge. See, I have drawn here cube, isn't it? So what concept we are using here? The same for everything. Okay, edge means what? Edge is a line segment between two faces. Okay, between the faces. What is the edge? Edge is a line segment between faces. Okay. What is vertex? Vertex is a corner. Now these are the vertex. Okay. Already I have taught in the video. Isn't it? Face means what? Faces means what? A single flat surface. This is the faces. Clear students, all of you now? Now, we are going to calculate how many faces, how many vertices and how many edges are there for cube, cuboid, triangular prism, square pyramid. Okay, students, how you will be get question based on this means, I will ask you the question, draw the 3D shape of cube or draw the 3D shape of cuboid or draw the 3D shape of triangular prism. Like that I will ask you, and also in that question itself I will ask you to write the faces, vertices, edges. So if I am asking about cube, you have to draw the cube and you have to write how many faces are there for cube, how many vertices are there for cube and how many edges are there for cube, you have to write. Clear? Clear students, all of you? Now we all know cube and cuboid will having the same number of faces, same number of vertices and also the same number of edges. Isn't it? For cube, we are having cube and cuboid, we are having 6 faces, 8 vertices and 12 edges. Okay, for triangular prism, how many number of faces we are having? 5 faces. Vertices is 6 vertices. Vertices means this is a corner. Okay, we will say it as the vertices. So 6 vertices. Edges. Edges is nothing but the line. Okay, so how many edges in triangular prism? 9 edges. Okay, clear students, all of you, what I am saying? Students, I am going to explain the triangular prism for vertices now. See, vertices means what I told, corner. We have written 6 vertices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 vertices we are having, isn't it? Edges means what I told you is a line segment between faces, I told you, isn't it? Now, see how many we have written? 9. We'll count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many edges we are having? 9 edges. Clear students? Similarly for square pyramid, if you see, we will be having 5 faces, 5 vertices and 8 edges. Students, all of you are clear about the 3-dimensional shape? How you will get the question in this? Draw the 3-dimensional shape of cube and also write its faces, vertices and edges. Like that only you will get the question. Okay, what shape I am asking? For that shape you have to draw the diagram. After drawing the diagram, below that you have to write number of faces, number of vertices and number of edges. Suppose in the question paper if I am asking for 2 shape, then if I am asking in the question paper triangular prism and as well as square pyramid means both the diagram you should have to draw. And then only you have to write the number of faces, vertices and edges. Clear? So practice the diagram for everything. Clear students? Cube and cuboid you will be easily drawing, isn't it? Practice the triangular prism and as well as the square pyramid. Clear students, all of you now? Students, with this I am going to complete the revision part. You have to work out all the problems for your exam. Only then you can score good marks, students. All the best, students. Do well. Thank you, students.